Awesome. So we're going through the 3 different types of products that you could be selling on Amazon FBA. And I want to show you why it's so important that you know this, because if you don't know what type of product that you're selling, which category it falls into, category 1, 2, or 3, which we'll go through in just a second, then you could be losing a lot of money over the long term. So we're over here on Amazon. Make sure you give this video a like below, because this is some very critical information that not many people are talking about and not many people actually know. I know I didn't know this when I launched my first product, and it would have been really helpful for me. So I'm over here on the keyword hiking socks, and you can see hiking socks have come up because that's how Amazon works. You type in the keyword and they come up with suggestions of what they think is most relevant to that term. Now, this is where we want to be ranking when we have a product, but that is not the point of this video. We're going to jungle scout this, which means if you don't know what jungle scout is yet, get it in the description below. It lets us see an x-ray behind the scenes of how much money these products are actually making. And like you already know, I love to sort by revenue first, because demand is the most important thing. We need to make sure there's a lot of demand for this item or this niche before we go into it, because if we go into a niche that has no demand, you're going to get no sales. Now, that's the first step. And you can see here there's a lot of demand for this niche. And normally that's what people look at. They say, cool, there's enough demand here. Now let's go check the competition. That's missing a crucial step. You're not categorizing this within one of these 3 types of Amazon products, and it's going to hurt you long term if you're not, because you need to know what you're getting yourself into. And I want to show you the 3 types of products that you are probably selling or could be selling on Amazon, starting with this one. Now, this is a search term. We're on Google Trends. It shows you how many searches over time a search term gets on the web, on Google. And I've got this set from 2004 to present. And you can see I've typed in gymnast rings here. And you can see in 2008, gymnast rings was at an all-time high of searches. In 2012, again, they had a great spike. 2016, a little spike here. But what you're seeing here is basically the cause and effect of a trend, such as the Olympics. Now, this is a type 1 product, and the Olympics get people inspired about gymnastics. I believe this is the Commonwealth Games here in 2016 for you non-USA folk. And that's probably why it's a little bit less in demand. But, you know, they have gymnastics as a competition. People want to go and start gymnastics because they're inspired by this Olympics, and they go and buy gymnast rings. And Amazon spikes in their sales of gymnast rings every 4 years, and sometimes every 2 years if the Commonwealth Games are a good one for gymnastics. And you can expect in 2020 it's going to spike here. But depending on when you look, depending on when you jungle scout, when you're doing your product research, you could be at any point in this trend. And the key is not to take those numbers as something that doesn't change. Every market is moving. Every market is changing. And if you have a look here at gymnast rings, you're like, oh, this is the best product I've ever seen to get into. And the next day, you're out of luck. Another good example of this, and once again, this is not something to avoid. This is the type 1 category, which can be very, very profitable. I'm going to show you exactly how, such as anticipating the trend and knowing. It's just about knowing a deeper perspective on what you're getting into than just seeing these surface level numbers. If you know the pattern, you can predict it ahead of time before anybody else does. So vampire fangs. Why do people search for vampire fangs in October? Very obvious. For Halloween, people want to buy Halloween dress up things and Halloween decorations. You can see them on Amazon.com. Best sellers, and this is in the toys and games department. If I just start scrolling, these ones are making hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars every single month. And you can see here, this is a cosplay tie for a Halloween party at number 15. Number 16 is Halloween. 17, a magic fake cigarette. I thought it was a magic wand, but apparently it's a cigarette. A little naive of me. You can go down here. This is a pretend police badge, pretend handcuffs. You can see these are all Halloween stickers over here. These are all very seasonal. You're not going to see these in the charts in December. And this is going to tell you. This is why we use Google Trends for this. But once again, there's going to be less competition in this, because if you know the trend, you can prepare ahead of time. You can estimate your stocks right and make a lot of money on that trend, and then just lay low, push a little bit extra marketing that nobody else is doing throughout the middle of the year, and then get another spike up again. And there's a lot of these trends. Look at holidays. Look at July 4th parties, Father's Day, Mother's Day. Have a look at the holidays, or have a look at the events that are going on, and you'll be able to see this seasonality and be able to predict it very easily. And if you are in one of these products, then you just need to understand there's going to be less demand, but there's also going to be less sustainable profit. The next one, the famous fidget spinner. Now, once again, this is the type 2. This is the second type of products. And the key here is it's a one-time trend, or a very, very spaced out trend. And a fidget spinner was the craze. Everyone knows them. You spin them in your hand. I'm going to put down my cocktail. That's my video exporting. But you can see it spiked once and then it really died down. Actually, if you go and have a look at in Jungle Scout fidget spinners, you'll see that even though it's at a 1% of what it used to be, it's actually becoming, there's a few people making good money in there at the moment. I don't recommend anyone ever get into that again. But if you were riding this trend and you got in early here, you'd be doing really, really well if you knew it was a one-time trend. If not, you're going to get stuck with a lot of extra stock and hurt. And that's why I want to show you something like a solar eclipse. Now, solar eclipses are a little between category 1 and 2, but they're just so infrequent that you know they're going to be a one-time spike. Now, the next solar eclipse is in 2024, so it's not for another 5 years. But I know people who have made literally millions of dollars on this solar eclipse selling these things, solar eclipse glasses, because the solar eclipse is coming. It's all over the news. Everyone wants to watch it. And where do they go? They can go down to Walmart and try and get some glasses, which is a long thing. Just go to Amazon, solar eclipse glasses, and literally millions of dollars, tens of millions of dollars of these things were sold in the space of a couple of months. And if you Jungle Scout here, you're going to be like, wow, this is a great product to get into. Same as Fidget Spinner. This is a great product to get into, but you need to come to Google Trends and understand the scope and have a better perspective on the market that you're choosing. And this is what people aren't doing, and this is what leads people to get into a lot of trouble, especially if they're doing product research around Q4, where every toy and game is spiked through the roof. Now, type 3 products. This is what I now like to sell. I've sold in all 3 of these categories. However, this category here, and this is from 2004 to present, something like hair clips. It's a long-term sustainable trend. And these things are going to make you sustainably wealthy and be able to actually build a brand around something because you have solid ground. You have something that's working for you. You're in a niche, you're in a market that's literally growing under your feet and getting bigger and bigger every single day, and therefore bringing you more customers, even if you only have a small segment of it. This is the third type. Here's one for water bottle. Now, you'll understand that these terms are going to be quite generic terms. I'm sure if I Google microphone or spatula or a pen, they're all going to be growing in demand over time, and because more people are coming to the internet, more people are being born into this world, more people are becoming more consumer focused, consumeristic, I don't know if that's a word, but they're going to be buying more of this stuff. And you want to make sure when you're getting into these that you're avoiding really heavily saturated competition. We have more videos on that, but this is the type 3 product. You want to make sure, and I can come here and I can type something like CD-ROM. You can see this is a downtrend. This is also a type 3 where it has a sustainable up or down, but this is a down type 3 product. You want to make sure that you're in an uptrend. If you started selling CDs up here or in here and here, you're going to struggle because there's less and less demand every single day. Make sure you pick a product with sustainable upside, with something that's going to actually help you grow, where you can corner a little piece of that market and protect it. There's a lot of ways to protect it. Once again, we have videos on that, so make sure you do subscribe and check out our other videos if you want to watch that. But you really need to do more than just x-ray the products, more than just find out how much they're making right now. You have to understand that all markets are dynamic, all markets are constantly moving, and you want to put your money and your time into one that's going to pay you back over the long term, or be aware of what market you're getting into and have that perspective and know when to actually put your foot on the accelerator and when to pull out of it. So hope that helps. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.